Because of small size of chamber groups, each part is usually limited to only a few, if not one player. Chamber orchestras are not designed to be a large group of people. In our new chamber orchestra at Coatesville, there are only 5 first violins, 6 second violins, 3 violas, and 3 cellos. This makes each of us more accountable for our individual parts and requires each of us to play with a high level of musicianship and soloistic qualities, even though we are performing with a small ensemble of musicians. Each musician that you see on the stage had to undergo an audition in 3 parts. The first part was showing our technical ability and sensitivity to intonation by performing a scale. Secondly, we were asked to prepare a piece of our choosing for the audition. Third and finally, we were asked to sight read. Sight reading is what happens when you look at a piece of music that you have never seen before for the first time and attempt to play it. This year, the piece that we had to sight read was the first movement to 3 scenes from A Green Valley, which we will play for you later in this afternoon's program. All auditions were blind, which meant that the adjudicator could not see who was playing, but had to make their judgment solely off of playing ability. After successfully completing all of these tasks, we were accepted into Coatesville Area School District's first combined middle school chamber orchestra. Performing in a chamber ensemble such as this teaches us many lifelong skills that we will take away from this experience and apply it to other endeavors for a lifetime. Performing chamber music with such a small group forces each of us to be accountable for the music that we are playing. We cannot hide and we cannot fake. Each part is very exposed, and in some songs, like Isma, which is on this program, each section plays something different. So it teaches us how to be independent and confident in what we are doing. We are grateful for the opportunity to be able to perform in this ensemble and have these experiences with the chamber orchestra and learn from them. We would like to express our gratitude to all of you for taking this time to come out to the chamber concert on this beautiful Sunday afternoon and support our orchestra program. We will begin this afternoon with Handel's Entrance of the Queen of Sheba, which is a standard piece of chamber repertoire. Thank you and enjoy the performance.
We will be performing a multi-movement work called Three Scenes from a Green Valley by William Harbinson. The former piece of music is in the classic style of Fast So Fast, with the second fast usually being a dance. Each movement is a different scene and should create a different image in your head. In the first movement, think of a windy hill or mountain. In the second, imagine a beautiful, peaceful church. In the third movement, the dance that is depicted is a jig. We will pause between each movement or scene. We ask that you observe the classical music tradition of holding your applause until all three movements of the work has been performed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So the orchestral program at the middle school level is going to try something different this year. And it is my mission to give students an opportunity to perform more in their home schools. So since North Brandywine was so gracious to host this event today, I have invited North to perform on this program, to have an opportunity to perform sort of for their home crowd. So we're going to give them a second, and they're going to perform 2 selections for you in the pit in the front. So just give us a few moments of transition, and then we will go to that part of the program. Thank you.
Average year-round temperature of 86 degrees Fahrenheit and the ability to go up to 116 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. The Sahara is known as one of the driest and hottest regions in the world, which covers almost all of northern Africa. Richard Meyer depicts this climate and environment in his piece Sahara Crossing. Imagine with us walking around this hot desert with animals such as camels and lizards, and how you'd feel in the dry, hot heat, feeling symptoms of dehydration and fatigue. A sense of Arabian pride is also engulfed into this piece by Meyer using the notes of the Phrygian scale. This is all of North Brandywine's orchestra performing Sahara Crossing.
So Andre Rieu, very famous violinist who you've probably seen through Christmas specials and things like that on television, is a very famous violinist who's the conductor of the Johann Strauss Orchestra. And Johann Strauss was known as the Waltz King because he's junior, his father is senior, both composers, but Johann Strauss Jr. was known as the Waltz King because he was known to preserve dances, especially waltzes, polkas, and many of you probably are familiar with some of his things. The Blue Danube, which is our next piece, being the most famous of all of his works. And Andre Rieu's orchestra, the Johann Strauss Orchestra, is a very elegant orchestra. And instead of actually conducting, even though he's the conductor, he plays along with the orchestra, and the orchestra follows his bow. So in order to sort of preserve that tradition, I am going to do the same. I'm going to, even though I don't normally do that, I'm going to play along with the orchestra as Andre Rieu would do if he was conducting the Johann Strauss Orchestra. So this is going to be North Orchestra, and aren't they doing a fabulous job, by the way? It's really this is the first time, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time that 6th, 7th, and 8th grade has all been combined together to put on a performance like this. And I asked them if they like this, and they said yes. So I can't guarantee that we're always going to do this, but I think we're going to try to do this a little more often because the students like it, and so do I. And they outstood great odds with PSSA testing and crazy schedules that they learned this music in a very, very short amount of time since our March concert. So I'm very proud of them. So give me a minute to grab my violin, and then we're going to play for you the Blue Danube Waltz. It is only fitting that on this first day of May 2016, we pause to celebrate this momentous occasion with Coatesville's first chamber music concert featuring our brand new combined middle school chamber orchestra. National Chamber Music Month began in 2012 by Chamber Music America, also known as CMA, which is an American nonprofit organization that provides small ensemble professionals with access to a variety of professional development, networking, and funding resources. CMA started this month-long initiative to raise awareness of small ensemble performance in the United States. We are proud to be a part of this initiative and celebrate chamber music in Coatesville. It is my goal to present this program as an annual concert on the first Sunday in May each year to help observe National Chamber Music Month, as part of the middle school orchestral program's concert series. This will allow us to bring awareness to this month and the skills that chamber music gives to our students. Learning chamber music teaches our children many important lifelong skills. Performing in a small ensemble gives each student a greater sense of accountability with their individual part. Most chamber music is only one person per part, which means each individual performer needs to play like a soloist, and they are solely liable for everything that they are playing. This is also true in chamber orchestras with only a small amount of performers. I noticed that a lot of the students on stage have felt an emotion recently that they have never felt before, and that is nervousness. That is because they're used to playing in a large group with plenty of people to back them up. The chamber orchestra is designed as a small group of advanced musicians, and part of this challenge is the personal responsibility with each player's part. The nervousness sets in when we are more exposed individually, and we are given a greater sense of accountability. However, chamber music performance has helped these students to develop the skills to endure this uncomfortable emotion. I can say without a doubt that working with these students has been an absolute pleasure and has served as one of the major highlights of my year. Despite the orchestra program's rough start to the school year, this performance proves that we are still here, strong and powerful, and we are a force to be reckoned with in the Coatesville Music Department and the district as a whole. As great as this concert has been, please understand that all of this is not possible without a price. I feel it is necessary to let you know that all the music that was programmed on the March Music in Our Schools Month concert, as well as the chamber concert, has come out of my own pocket. I won't tell you exactly how much money I've spent, but you can do the math when I tell you that one full set of music for orchestra costs $40. This is why I get so upset when students lose even one piece of music, because it does have great value. Running and upkeeping an orchestra is not an inexpensive task. Instruments age and break, music needs to be purchased, and the chamber orchestra has begun to get invitations to perform in the community and even the region. Unfortunately, we cannot do this successfully without funds. Without instruments, music to play, or a place to play at, there can be no orchestra. This chamber music concert is a free will offering. This means that we are open to any and all donations. Please understand, orchestra is not free. We are always willing to accept donations at any time, not just today, but at any concert, and you are always free to contact me any day in any middle school if you wish to provide for these talented and dedicated musicians. Today, after the performance, I will carry with me a manila envelope. If you wish to make a donation to the middle school orchestra program, whether it's $1, $5, or $100, I will gladly accept it on behalf of the program and our students. I can also give you information with who to make checks out to. Thank you very much for your ongoing support of our string program in the Coatesville Area School District. As always, I'd like to thank Dr. Tashner, Dr. Donahue, and the school board for giving the arts priority in Coatesville and the orchestral program in particular. I would also like to thank all the middle school principals and assistant principals for allowing us to have this program today. A special thank you to our custodian that's here on a Sunday afternoon as we present this concert, and for all of his assistants, as well as our school secretaries and administrative assistants, especially Mrs. Chung and Mrs. Crowell here at North Brandywine. Most of all, I'd like to thank the parents and guardians. North Guardians, thank you for giving up your Sunday afternoon to escort and support your children as they perform on today's program as an opportunity to showcase their orchestral performance in their own school building. To the families of the chamber orchestra students, you have been so diligent in bringing your children to nighttime rehearsals in a timely fashion and have supported us every step of the way. I now know what the true definition of support is because of the 17 families that are represented in the chamber orchestra. None of this would be possible without you. Students, you should give your parents a hand. You should give your parents a hand. Go ahead and do that. Because they helped me to prepare a reception for you after this concert. And there's a cake involved to congratulate you as the inaugural chamber orchestra, which we're not going to cut until everyone has gotten a chance to see it. So please be patient. We want to recognize all the hard work that you have put into this program and the many hours of rehearsal you've come to on your own personal time to work on this music, and the large amounts of practice that you've done at home. So after this concert is over, everyone is invited to join us in the caf for a small and light reception. Stay as long as you want, or until 5, because that's when we have to be out of here, so whichever one comes first. I do ask that you let our student performers eat first, and then everyone else can follow. And let's give them a minute to pack up their things before we begin the reception. Students, there's no need to rush around and drop more instruments, because we already had one drop already today. Okay, enough of me talking. We are going to go on to the second half of the program, and the chamber orchestra will perform a Middle Eastern style piece called Isma. Isma means listen in Arabic. The piece of music actually comes in 3 movements, just like 3 scenes from a Green Valley, except there are no pauses between the movements, which means I don't have to worry about you clapping in between the movements. But you did a very good job of that today, unlike Mark. But we won't think about that. The first section is actually an improvisation, which is written out as a violin solo, which is going to be played by Drew Taylor. The second movement is a muisha, which is Arabic for song, and the third movement is a lively Egyptian dance. Because Arabian music is played with no harmony, you will notice that instead of hearing chords, sections just play complex rhythmic patterns, right, violas, complex rhythmic patterns, along with the melody that takes on the role of percussion section. As Adriana mentioned earlier, this creates a challenge for us because each section plays a different pattern, so everyone really has to be responsible for their own part. And we have to do something that seems simple, but can be often very hard when playing music, and that is counting. Most of the students were exposed to mixed meters for the first time as we quickly will switch back and forth between 3 and 4 beat patterns. Also, pay close attention to the viola section as they perform some cool techniques that they were introduced to in this song, such as poleño, which is playing with the wood, the back of the stick, as well as trilling. This was a challenging piece for us, so we are proud to present to you Isma. Please enjoy the rest of the performance, and again, thank you very much for coming out this afternoon.
Vivaldi's La Tempesta da Marte is originally a set of violin concerti for string orchestra. Tom Fritz's translation, Ocean Storm, is an exciting piece that makes for chamber music and is what we will leave you as our finale this afternoon. Vivaldi takes ascending and descending scales using the compositional technique call and response to depict the swell of the storm. In order to draw an intensity, we have combined knowledge of all of the different bow styles and strokes that we have learned in orchestra this year, such as détaché, staccato, spiccato, and marcato. We are very happy that you could join us this afternoon, and we hope that today has provided you with an awareness of chamber music and how it is important and beneficial for students' music education.
Thank you.
Please remember to join us in the CAF for a light reception. Thank you.
I got one question.
I'm waiting on encore. Period.
That was going to be like
Whoever has to get her violin.
Here, sir.
Isso.